City of Stevens Point Public Policy and General Government Meeting, recorded January 10, 2022.
I'd like to call to order Public Policy and General Government. The roll call, please. Clerk enter.
Leek.
Here.
Christensen.
Here.
Keemer.
Here.
Kneebone.
Here.
Fischler.
Here.
Okay. That was the first agenda item. The second is the license list, and we have three. The first is a Class Beer license, Class B beer and Class B liquor license for Goose on Main. I hear it's at 1140 Main Street, and beginning February 22nd. And then there's the second one is a temporary Class B license for St. Joseph Parish, 1709 Wyatt Avenue, for the Winterfest 2022 on February 25th of this year, which will take place at the parish, same address. And then finally, secondhand jewelry, secondhand article pawnbroker license for Eco ATM. LLC, which is actually an outfit out of San Diego. Okay, at 1500 Pinecrest Avenue, Stevens Point. So I believe we can take these together. I will hear a motion, please.
So moved. Approval.
I'll second that, Alder Fischler.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion or questions from the committee?
Yep, Keemer.
Oh, yes. Alder Keemer,
Yeah,
please.
under item C and that address is for Metro Market. Is that for something that subleases or is located within Metro Market, or is there any clarification on that?
I've not received any on this.
Go ahead,
It is
Clerk.
actually, it's a machine located within Metro Market. And
Okay.
it is a renewal. It has been there in the past.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Any further clarifications? Oh, yes.
Any concerns from law
Oh,
enforcement?
yes, we're getting there. Any concerns? Okay. Any concerns from the general public or anyone else in attendance? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, now we have the maintenance and occupancy, let me look at the packet here. No, I'll just look at the agenda. The Maintenance and Occupancy Code Amendment, sections 2101 and paragraph 2 of the same section. And it looks like Director Konoski is here to tell us some things about this.
Yes, thank you, members of the committee. So before you tonight, there's really no formal action that needs to be taken. As folks might recall, almost 2 years ago, we had brought the entire Chapter 21 rewrite to, at the time, the Public Protection Committee, and it quickly became apparent to city staff that was just too much information for the committee to consider at once. And so we were asked to bring back information in smaller bites. Then the pandemic began, and there was a request to bring this back when we could have in-person meetings. And so city staff felt as though, because they're into the new year, our direction from the council the last probably 5 years or so has been to be updating our various municipal codes. We thought this is an appropriate time to begin the process again. So before you tonight is the general provisions and definitions section of the Chapter 21 rewrite. You'll notice that a number of the building code references and zoning code references that were included in Chapter 21 are removed as part of the definition package and or are actually referenced directly back to those specific chapters, Chapter 23 for zoning and Chapter 30 for building, plumbing, and electrical. You'll see additional materials in here like the implementation of best management practices for abatements, further identifying the code official within the city's community development department, and then also identifying compliance plans, which is something that we use instead of coming down with the heavy hand of enforcement, we do try to work with property owners as much as we can, and utilizing things like compliance plans goes a long way. A good recent example is we had an apartment complex with a cockroach infestation. We worked with the property owner to get a compliance plan in place. Instead of sending out, constant citations to alleviate the problem, we worked proactively with the apartment owner as much as we reasonably could to alleviate the cockroach infestation. So things like that, and bed bugs are common uses for those types of plans. We also identify natural lawns, something that we've received a lot of calls on, especially since the implementation of the No Mow May was the continuation of a natural lawn. We have not really regulated it, but have offered in the past to residents who are willing to provide a natural lawn plan to the city staff to review and have on file the opportunity to have the natural lawn. Mainly for that reason, it's because, let's say somebody's neighbor calls and they're complaining that their fellow neighbor has got really long grass and there's all sorts of issues with it. If we have a plan on file, we can reference that plan to that neighbor and ensure that they're following those rules consistent. We also further define recreational vehicles within the chapter, and that's pretty much it. More than happy to answer any other questions. Mark Cordes is the the one who put a lot of time, energy into this specific document. He is on a beach in Florida right now, so I will try to answer your questions as much as I can, but we might have to wait for the next one as well.
So the procedure here is you're going to present this piece by piece to this committee, and then we will vote on it when we've seen
All of it.
all of it.
Yep.
Ah.
So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, this would be a good time to provide that. Otherwise, you can always email community development staff with that, but there's no formal action that's needed tonight. This is more information discussion.
Okay. I have one question, but I'll let others ask first, perhaps. Okay, I noticed there is something in here about, I guess, delegation of authority. Oh, did she?
You can go ahead. I'll wait.
Okay,
I just have a comment. I just have a comment, so I'll wait.
I noticed something in here about delegation of authority, and you are the primary inspector, as it were.
The community development director has the ability to authorize various community development staff to enforce the code, correct?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I noticed anyone, I don't know if the word deputized was used here. I'd have to go down and look. I was unclear, like, does this person have to be an employee, or could it theoretically be anyone on the street, or what the guidelines are for?
So the enforcers of the code would be city employees,
Okay.
community development staff, building inspector, neighborhood improvement coordinator, and community development director.
Okay,
And that authority would be conveyed through the director.
Correct.
okay,
I don't know if deputized was actually in there. or
No,
not,
actually,
but
it
that-
wasn't. I
that-
wasn't
That's a
looking.
pretty formal term.
Yeah,
that
okay.
The sheriff might take offense to.
We don't have badges or anything, so.
Okay.
yeah.
good,
That.
great, thank you.
don't need any thinking.
Right.
Alder Keemer.
Sure, thank you very much. I just wanted to say that I appreciate Mr. Cordes's work on this revision and city staff as well. In particular, I know there were a lot of requests for natural lawns in District 3 and the surrounding neighborhoods, and just having some of that language codified a bit, I think will be helpful. And yeah, I just felt like a lot of the revisions, the language was a little more accessible than some of the other ordinances. So I just wanted to say thanks for your work on this.
Yep, I agree, thank you. Any other comments? Okay,
Alderperson?
oh, yes?
I just wanted to thank staff as well, because I think there were a lot of questions that came up in a previous meeting about this. And this will give people time to take a look at it more closely and digest it a little bit more before it comes to voting. So thank you for being transparent with the public as well.
So we'll likely bring back pretty much at each meeting over the next several months snippets of this code, and hopefully within a year or so we can have the final code up for adoption.
Sounds great, thank you very much. Oh, yes.
One final comment. First of all, for those of you who are not watching, we're talking about this now. So get your comments in now. not the day we vote on it. And just because we've covered the first couple of pieces of this, doesn't mean that precludes comments on anything. So contact the director's office if it's not tonight or tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever it is. Contact the office with your thoughts and comments, so we have a good product when we bring it back to council.
Thank you for your comments.
Oh, I got Kneebone.
I have a quick comment as well.
Alderman Kneebone, please.
Again, thank you very much, Director Konoski. The minutia of planning and governance can be very interesting. We need to make all our ordinances relevant, and as technology changes and definitions change and things happen that we don't anticipate, it's important to be able to have this be a living document, not something set in stone. So continuing to update our codes and ordinances keeps everybody able to make this the best place to live, work, and play. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your comments, Alderman Kneebone. If there's no further commentary, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our agenda is then exhausted, and we're done. Oh, wait, what's the word for?
Adjourned,
Adjourned,
6:14.
that's the word I was looking for, yes.
6:14.
adjourned. Yes.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.